Nutritional deficiencies in plant. Under this topic, today we are going to study about the copper deficiency symptoms in plant. Let us start with essential role of copper in plant. Copper is one of the 8 essential plant micronutrient. It is required for many enzymatic activities in plants and for chlorophyll and seed production. Copper is required for the lignification of cell walls and hence the deficiency of copper decreases the stem strength. Its deficiency can lead to increased susceptibility to disease like ergot disease, which can cause significant loss in yield of small grains. Copper deficiency is more likely to occur in cereal grains like wheat, barley, and oat. Some vegetable crops such as onions, lettuce, and carrots are also sensitive to copper deficiency. Copper deficiency symptom. Copper is relatively immobile in plants and deficiency symptoms first appear in younger plant tissues. Main symptoms of copper deficiency appear on leaves, and these symptoms are chlorotic streaks on either side of the midrib, dark brown necrotic lesions on leaf tips, bluish green and chlorotic streaks near the leaf tip, rolling of new leaves. New leaves do not roll and the upper portion of leaves have a needle-like appearance, while the lower portion of the leaves appear normal. Plant also have a reduced tillering. These are some of the important symptoms of copper deficiency that appear on the leaves. When severely affected, the pollen viability is reduced and spikelets become sterile and develop unfilled grains. Copper deficiency is associated with the pathological conditions of fruit trees, notably exanthema or dieback disease. In this disease, the shoots die back, the foliage shows burning of margins, chlorosis and distortion, and gumming may also occur. In cereals, it causes the condition known as reclamation disease or wither tip. In this disease, the young leaves fail to open properly. Tillering is excessive and the ears are barren or sterile. Withering tip is the characteristic symptom of copper deficiency and it appears on young leaves. It shows as a sudden dying and withering or curling of the tip and of the leaf blade, sometimes up to half the length of the leaf blade. The base end of the leaf, however, can remain green until normal senescence occur. Under severe deficiency, as with the calcium deficiency, the new growth can wither before unfolding and few heads will emerge. But with less severe deficiency, head may emerge but grains may not be formed in the spikelet at the tip of the head. The whole head takes on the appearance of rat tail with full grain in the base of the head, shriveled grain in the middle of the head and withered necrotic tip. This rat tail appearance of the spikelet is sometimes confused with the frost damage. Marginal copper deficiency may decrease grain yield by producing shriveled grain and a bending over of the stem and head. In wheat, the symptoms appear as a general light green to yellow color in the small grain crop. The leaf tips die back and the tips are twisted. If copper deficiency is severe, growth stops and plant die. Wheat will not produce grains in the head. In mature stands, copper deficiency can be seen in purplish brown patches, which are the sign of melanosis. In corn, deficiency first appear on new leaf as they come out of the whorl and develop a bluish green tint. New leaves may emerge from the whorl as spiraled. Necrosis may occur on the older leaf tip and edges may die. In vegetable crops, young leaves may turn bluish green before turning yellow. The upper portion of the plant wilts, the growing point is stunted and eventually die. The plants often fail to flower. Copper deficiency symptoms in wheat. This is the healthy head and this is the severely affected head. The healthy to severely copper deficient wheat head showing the sign of melanosis. Copper deficiency in corn. The leaf shows purple tints, which is the sign of copper deficiency. Lettuce plant on the right is copper deficient as compared to non-deficient plant. Soil conditions. Copper in the soil is held with clay minerals as a cation and in association with organic matter. Some silicate minerals and carbonate contain copper as impurities. Copper deficiencies often occur in soils with peaty soil and high concentration of organic matter. Sandy textured soils are more likely to be copper deficient than looms and clays. Soils that contain greater amount of oxides and carbonates tend to have a low available copper. Soils with a pH of 7.5 or greater should be monitored when crops sensitive to copper are grown. Disease management. Dip seedling roots in 1% copper sulfate suspension for 1 hour before transplanting can control deficiency of copper in plants. Avoid overliming of acid soils because it may reduce the copper uptake by the plant. On copper deficient soils, apply copper oxide or copper sulfate for long-term maintenance of available soil copper. Copper sulfate is a preferred source of copper fertilizer because of low cost compared to chelated source. Soil application of copper before seeding is the most common method. Copper fertilizer can be blended with nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fertilizer. Copper use efficiency is improved if the fertilizer is water soluble and the particle size of the fertilizer is small. Single application of copper can last for many years. Foliar application of copper can also be effective way to correct copper deficiency in small grains and vegetable crops. For further readings, I would like to suggest these links and a book of plant pathology by George and Agrios. Thank you for watching.